Be prepared for highly offensive language throughout and adult and sexual themes.
Big Brother, I just can't take it no more. Like, they're just treating me like I'm not even here. No one speaks to me. No one even looks at me. I just don't understand why they keep doing this to me.
Rylan.
What?
It might be because you're not a housemate anymore.
Yeah, but Big Brother, what's that got to do with anything? Yeah, I've been here for like nearly 6 years.
Rylan.
What?
You don't live here anymore.
That is really rude. Do you know who you're talking to? Like, that's bang out of order that you just said that to me.
Rylan.
What?
Please leave by the door to your right.
You're bang out of order. Joe, I mean, what is this? Like, this is nothing like it used. I can't deal with it.
It's time for Celebrity Big Brothers, bit on the side.
Oh, shut up.
Tonight's show was all about Hardeep, the Destroyer. He fell out with Gabby, he fell out with Sally. He pretty much fell out with everyone tonight, didn't he, really? But he did follow Kirsty's advice.
Go cry like a little bitch.
And he did. No, he got a bit teary in the diary room, bless him. That was a bit harsh, Kirsty Alley. Now, also, on tonight's show, we saw the housemates go for the jugular and dish out their killer nominations. I know! For who they wanted tossed out on the mean streets of Borehamwood on a Friday night. And believe me, we've all witnessed them streets firsthand on a Friday night. So to confirm, the housemates facing eviction this week are Hardeep and Sally. More about that a little bit later on, but coming up tonight, it has been a series with more highs and lows than a trip to Thorpe Park, let me tell you. Other theme parks are available, though. So with that in mind, we're going to be asking which of our housemates have been on the biggest... I can't say... Journey! All right, I said it, all right? We don't like that word on this show. Also coming up, have our celebs done what they set out to do and change public's perception on them? I'm going to be getting the lowdown from Celebrity Big Brother Supervan and my new Woman Crush Wednesday. Kiss FM's Charlie Hedges is here. Love Charlie. We're going to be revealing the results of our exclusive Big Old Bots poll on that very issue. But before we get to any of that, it is time to meet my Dream Wednesday night panel. And we can thank our lucky stars that our first guest even made it here tonight. That cannon ain't easy to get in and out of, if you know what I mean. He's got the gift as well. It's Russell Grant. Love it. Next up, she started life as a member of girl band The Sirens. Oh, I love the 90s, whatever. Yeah, we're bringing it all back. They split up, so she joined Liberty X. They split up, she became a part-time member of Atomic Kitten, and now she's back in Liberty X. She's our favourite freelance pop singer. It's Michelle Heon. I love The Sirens. I love The Sirens. And finally, he's left Albert Square, but he just won't leave us alone. He's back again, and it's a good job, though, because I love a bit of the R&B. It's Richard Blackwood! What panel? This is a panel. So let's get straight on to tonight, and we've got to start with Hardeep. He was all over tonight's episode. He stirred things up with Gabby and Sally, and pretty much everyone in general, but we did see him get upset in the diary room, but his snoring is still an issue, according to the housemates. Now, Richard, let me come to you first. Lovely to have you back on the show, Richard. Always lovely to see you. Most of the housemates are finding him really annoying to live with at the moment. Do you think he is really that bad to live with?
Yes.
You do?
No.
Richard!
No, I mean, did I not say... Well, like, when we did the first one when they went in, did I not say that he was a bit weird?
You did say you thought he was going to be annoying. That's exactly what you said.
With the tongue that was supposed to be sexy, but he's licking his whole face. Right?
Which is a talent in itself.
It's a talent, but we don't need to see it, right? That's supposed to be somewhere in an amusement park. But what I'm saying, what it is, I think his style of humour is not tangible for everybody.
Absolutely right.
It's not palatable.
Not palatable.
That's a really big word. I'm really impressed. That's great.
I thought I was just throwing it out
awesome.
there. Palatable.
No. Well, we did have another falling out with Gabby when he said he can't wait to leave and get to know the real her. Now, Michelle, when it started tonight, I did feel a little bit for Hardeep. You know, You can't control snoring, not that I've ever snored in my life, all right? But you can't control it, and I know it must get on the housemate's nerves. But did you feel a little bit for him when he was like, oh, I'm going to get up,
No, I mean, because the snoring's just like one part of their annoyance with him. What I didn't like is that he brought up that conversation with Gabby to play on us as viewers and voters, because to make it in our heads that we're not seeing the real her as a reality star. I actually believe that we are seeing the real her, and that he's now seeing the scenarios that he's been saved, what, 3-4 times? He's thinking he's safe in general, which is a really... which is the wrong thing to do, because he's believing his own hype for a second, and then he's now playing a game. He's now going to, like, kind of face everybody's kind of vulnerable spot, which is hers is a reality star and her perception of what she's trying to change. I'm trying not to be too graphic, but sorry.
I love the fact how you went into a meditation then as well.
Okay. I know we've only got like 2 seconds. No, he shouldn't have said it. He's playing a game at that moment. She is who she is. He knew what he was doing. It was vindictive. As a grown man, he shouldn't have said it.
Take a breath, Michelle Hayton. What a woman. What a woman. Russell, Hardeep says pretty much, I don't want to say every time, but a lot of the time whenever there's a run-in with him, that it's all a misunderstanding, people are taking him the wrong way. What do you think? Are people just taking him the wrong way? Is it just his humour? Is it just maybe, which has been said on him many a times, he's a very intelligent man, he's too intelligent for some of them?
There's no misunderstanding when you take your top off and show your body and you're cooking food.
No.
There's no misunderstanding.
Don't tell me you've never done an omelette topless. I know you have, Russell Grant. Oh, no, he has. I know he has.
There's no misunderstanding when if you go back and watch Emma talking to Jermaine when he went out that night, and Hardeep has got a close-up on screen doing this and this. Did you see all that? And there's no misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding for anything he does. I need bleach.
You need... Well, do you know what? Let me ask. Is there any fans of Hardeep in the audience? I ask this every single... Good, right. Let's come up here, because I want to try and get to another side. Hello, darling.
I just feel really sorry for him.
Why do you feel sorry for him,
Because
babe?
I feel like everyone's picking on him a little bit.
Do you feel like they're not including?
I feel like they're all picking on him. They're all...
Let the lady speak. She's straightened her hair for this.
I feel like they're all voting for him because they know whoever he goes up against, no, he ain't going to get voted out, so it's almost like an easy vote out. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he's an easy
they're
nom?
just picking on him because they know if he's up, he ain't going home. So they're like, it's easy. Cop out.
Oh, okay. Oh, go on, girl, go ahead. She stuck her neck right out. See that? Really come to me then.
The only thing he's picking is his nose.
Absolutely.
That's it.
You see that?
Double mic drop. That right there.
There is still, I have to say though, there is still some fallout from Bunyan Gate. Bunyan Gate, no, don't. It's drama. Hardeep still couldn't see how Sally would take offence. Now, Richard, I need to come to you on this.
Please do.
What do you make of Bunyan Gate? Are bunions the sort of thing that you just don't bring up to a woman?
You definitely don't. Personally, I think. Okay.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah, okay. No, I've seen Misha's got nice feet.
Lovely feet.
Right? No,
Misha.
I never said Michelle. Right? No, but here's the thing, right? I think that when you're talking about women's bunions.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm not looking at you, it's just that you're the other... Stop it. When you look at women's bunions, if they have them, you have to be very, very... You don't even see it. You've got to do a Stevie. I just called. You don't see it. You don't see it, right? Because at the end of the day, women are much more about their feet and having their feet out and no shoes and open toes and things like that. And if there's something to the left that's sticking out, you've got to leave that. You don't see it.
You don't go to the... Michelle, would you be offended if someone brought up bunions to you?
Yeah, I don't have bunions, but I know people who may. And yeah, listen, he shouldn't have brought it up. Like why? It's a non-talking point. And I think that Sally didn't make a big deal about it. She was just talking about it in conversation. He keeps going on about it. Yeah. It's not her. If what we're seeing is real life and we're seeing what's actually happened, he's the one that's repeating it, not her.
I think he likes bunions.
Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe he has a bunion fetish.
Maybe he does. We can neither confirm nor deny that rumour.
Why would you... It's like saying, oh, my God, your feet is really crusty. You wouldn't say it, you'd think it.
OK, all right, well, we're going to...
Oh, what do you mean,
We're going to try and move on
Yeah,
from the
or, like,
bunion
buff it
chat,
out.
but it did carry over into tonight's show, but we do need to move on to nominations now. And and it was killer noms this week, with each housemate getting 1 vote to cast. Now, Hardeep and Sally are up, as we know. Russell, I think it was quite safe to say we probably presumed Hardeep would be facing the vote. Sally, was you expecting that?
I think she was more surprised than all of us, to be honest with you. But who else is there left now? I mean, Saint Kirstie Alley.
God bless her.
Who I just adore.
She's got a lot of love in here. A lot of
I
love.
just adore her. I want a rerun of Veronica's Closet. The one I came out of a few years ago.
Brings his own jokes. Are you surprised that she's up?
Well, I don't know who else they could choose, really. That's the trouble. I mean, who is there left? There's only Hardeep, and he's still in there. And, of course, when he cleaned out the fridge, he sneezed into the...
Oh, look. Oh, it's been a drama, but I can confirm the fridge has been cleaned. Please do not share. Richard, do you think Sally was surprised that she was... I mean, we know she's a sidekick. It does work. She's got a gift. But do you think she was surprised that she was facing the vote?
She shouldn't have been with her ability, but I think that... I don't think she wants to go up against him. I think that's the thing that probably annoys her
They are
the
all a
most.
little bit worried, aren't they, going up against
you
him?
don't want to lose to him, especially as he referred to your bunions. This is the last thing you want to go out on.
Oh, he's brought out the bunions again,
No,
hasn't
I'm
he?
just saying, it's
Come
just
on.
the worst thing. I think him, if it was somebody else, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah,
but I
because
think-
they've never got on, have they, really?
It's
Do you know
odd.
what? Do you know what was nice tonight, though, Michelle? The housemates won Nicky's letter from home as part of the task girl, which was lovely. Well, actually, Nick won it. You know, he's the one who had to do all the steps. Russell, I know that you like to keep fit. You know, you've done your dancing. How do you think you would have done with Nick's challenge?
Well, it just so happens...
What are you getting out? What are you getting out?
I've lost
don't want
it.
to-
Well, do you know what? I'm going to tell them what you're doing,
here it
because
is.
earlier tonight,
Here it is.
before the show, we gave Russell a pedometer to wear. So I'm going to have a little check on it now. I'm going to have a little check on it now, see how we're doing. So, as it currently stands, Russell is done. Are you ready for this? 4 steps, everyone! You keep hold of that, all right? You keep it going. Going to be checking in on that a bit later on, all right? The 4 steps is done. Going to be keeping over that.
I've lost it again.
There you go. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where he's putting it. It's really concerning me where your hand's going. Michelle, let's go back to Nick's letter, because it was really emotional, and we saw him get emotional.
Yes.
How do you think he's going to be feeling now he's got that letter from his family? Well, his son as well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, whenever I've been in there and I've received a letter myself, and it is the most emotional and poignant moment of the whole journey. And the fact that he got it delayed and without everybody else, it's going to mean something. My problem with Nick is that I kind of forget about him a little bit. Does that make sense? He's almost forgetful, and I really like him. He's a lovely guy, but he just hasn't really done anything unexpected that would make me want to vote for him to win. But that's not a bad thing. Why do we always need to vote for people who have been something untoward? Why can we not just have somebody who might be in the final that's just actually a nice guy? So that's not that I want him to win, but that's my argument for somebody like that to win.
Do you know what? We're going to be talking about Nick a bit later on, obviously, because we've got the public poll that you guys took part in. But there's one thing you wouldn't have seen in tonight's episode. You might have heard about it. It's been all over the news, guys. Is Ryan's big old pink chopper. Did you hear about that? I don't mean it. No, I don't mean it like that, Russell. Calm yourself, Russell. That pedometer's speeding right up, isn't it? Ryan's friend, who's got his own helicopter, someone's done well for themselves, has been flying it over the house. Have a little look at this. So this was flying over the house yesterday, and it says #Ryan to win. What are we making of that? I mean, friends in high places, literally, Richard.
Very high. I wish I knew them. I haven't got no one like that in my phone. I don't even think I'll get a stamp, let alone that. But I think that's beautiful.
Well, I think if you've got a friend that does that, big up to the friend that did
Big
that.
up.
That's what I would say. I'd say good luck to you.
Yeah.
And I'm always been a fan of a big old pink chopper. So give it up for our panel, everyone. Watch out, I'm watching you backwards. Watch out. Right, coming up, we're going to be finding out which of our celebs you think deserve some loving from the public and which of our housemates will forever live under their storm cloud of doom. Kiss FM's Charlie Hedges is going to be here. We love Charlie. She's going to be revealing the results of our public perception poll. All of that is coming up right after this break. See you then. Yes, that's right. Look at that. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side. I've never been beamed down anywhere before, let alone Borehamwood, may I just say. And a fun fact for all you Trekkies out there, Kirstie Alley actually played Lieutenant J.G. Sarvik in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Top film. Top film, guys. Educational show. Now, we always love to hear from our viewers. So, this time, we turn the cameras on you. So it's time for View from the Queue.
I love Dan and I love Ryan, obviously.
I want Hardeep to win.
I think Hardeep should leave the Big Brother house because he just makes the housemates feel uncomfortable and they don't want to feel uncomfortable, they want to live their best life.
Nick, are you sleeping the whole time? Seriously.
I really like Kirstie Alley, I think she's really funny and she brings so much personality.
I like Ryan because I think he's really sweet.
My prediction, Ryan all the way, and it was Ryan right from the beginning.
Get Sally out. Well, currently I'm really liking Sally. I like how she throws shade at everyone and gets away with it.
I really like Dan, that's like my favourite in the house. He's like the happy one in the house.
Oh, Dan Osborne, Jesus Christ, he's a fella, isn't he? I like Dan. I reckon Dan will win, yeah.
Oh, I love hearing from you lot, I do. But before our celebs entered the house, they'd been living under a dark cloud following their own media storms. But with just 5 days to go until finale, which of our celebs have managed to do what they have set out to do and change the public's perception of them? We've done an exclusive box poll to find out what you lot think. And here to reveal the results is Kiss FM breakfast presenter Charlie Hedges! You're lovely. You're right.
Yes, I'm good. How
You're
are
looking
you?
well, babe.
Thanks, likewise.
Oh, babe, I try. How are you?
Really good. It's quite unusual seeing you here. You're normally with me.
I
on
know,
my
I
show.
normally come on your
I
show. It's
know.
nice to have you on,
Thank
babe.
you.
Just returning that favour.
Yes.
What a series.
It's been...
I've been listening. I know you lot have been loving it.
It's been explosive. I mean,
It has
I've been
been
hooked.
major, hasn't it?
Been really good for some people. Obviously, horrendous for others.
It really has. It really, really has. It's been a big old series. But we did a big poll, as you saw. We launched that yesterday, asking you lot which housemate has changed their public perception the most. And it is now time to look at the results. Now, we've got one of our killer nominees up, Sally.
Yep.
So,
Mind the gap.
starting in here. So, let's have a little reminder. What was Sally Storm?
So she went in as the celeb psychic who was questioned for potentially conning her audience.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
We
yes.
shout out before the lawyers give me a little ring on the phone. So, should we have a little look at the results?
Let's do it.
Let's have a little look. So, Sally got 6% of the vote. So, only 6%
Yeah.
of the people that did the poll think that she's changed public perception. Has that shocked you?
I mean, to be fair, she had quite a lot of opinions, good opinions at the start of the series. She sort of comforted the right people, the likes of Ryan, Dan, but as the series has gone on, her and Hardeep's relationship is getting a bit toxic. So I kind of feel like, do you know what I mean? I feel like she's neither here or there. I feel like that is accurate.
So, what, you think she was better earlier on in the series?
Oh, I don't like saying it, but I kind of
She'll
feel,
know you're
yeah.
talking about her.
So,
She's got a gift. She will know.
you say that she managed to not find them red X's, did she?
Yeah,
on Gotcha?
well, don't start. Allegedly,
Sorry,
allegedly. OK, so Sally got 6%. Next up is Gabby.
Yeah.
Weather's getting worse. So, Gabby, remind me of Gabby Storm.
So her storm's in the house. Obviously, Dan, we've seen photos of her and him on the yacht. People saying, are they friends? Are they not?
And we still really haven't resolved anything, apart from the fact that they're like, no, nothing happened.
And they like a little flick of each other.
Oh, they have a little flick every now and again, but that's fine. That's what friends do. Don't, stop it. Stop it. Who brings these? I don't know where they come from. Let's have a little look at her results.
Yeah.
So, Gabby got, 6% as well.
Same,
Oh,
yeah.
Shook in the audience over there. Are you surprised? Same as Sally?
Yeah, same with views, really. I think Gabby did what she wanted to do. She said at the start, didn't she? She wants to go in as her own person and not as someone in a relationship. She's come across really sweet.
I think it's quite evident as well.
Yeah,
I think we're
totally.
now. I think in the early weeks we were very much like, did something happen? Didn't something happen? I think we're all pretty over that now, saying clearly it didn't.
Listen, they're friends.
Yeah.
Surely everyone can see that, do you know what I mean? And hopefully she's cleared it up, he has, and then everyone can just leave him alone.
Just leave them alone,
Yeah.
all right? That's what we're saying. The second of our killer nominees is up now. It's Hardeep. Remind me of Hardeep, Storm.
Accusations of being inappropriate, naughty boy, ending his TV career.
It ended his actual TV career.
Yes.
Let's have a little look at his result. So he got 8%. OK, so only marginally a little bit more than Sally and Gabby there. I mean, Hardeep, we've talked about him a lot on this
Yeah.
show. He's caused a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at only 8%?
I just think he's a weird one. I don't know. Sorry. Do you know what? The thing is, and I don't know if you guys will agree, I don't know whether sometimes I like him or sometimes I can't stand him, and I don't think anyone can work him out. does he lead conversations to trip people up? Is he being genuine? I don't know who he is, and that's the truth.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think that's quite a fair point. I think I've seen a lot of people, especially online as well, saying 1 minute I love Hardeep for the things he comes out with. The next minute I'm going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It just seems like he's either this person or that person at a certain time.
And we've seen him like in the diary room breakdown. That's a soft side. And then we'll see him again and think, get him out of the diary room.
Boom,
Do you know what I mean?
straight in.
Yeah.
Let's move on to, hi, I'm Kirstie Alley.
Oh, I love her.
Kirstie Alley loves you.
I love her.
I love her.
Yeah,
There's a
she's
lot
a
of love
ledge.
for Kirstie Alley. Remind us of what Kirsty Storm was.
Hollywood star, struggled with her weight and the media's perceptions of her. Although I think she looks amazing, so fair play to her.
I think she looks
She's
great
been
as well.
brilliant. I
Let's
love
have a
her.
little look at the poll results for Kirsty. So 9%, again, only a fraction more as well.
But I think with her, that's not a shock. Why did she need to prove anything? So what? She's gained and lost weight. Who cares? She looks good.
Yeah.
So what has she got to prove? She's gone in, been herself, had fun, down to earth. She's met some amazing people. And she talks about them like they're Dave down the road.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know Dave down the road, Patrick Swayze. You know Dave.
It's true, though.
Well, yeah, it's like you're saying. I think maybe we had a preconception of Kirsty. I normally do when we have the Hollywood stars in, that maybe they're going to be a bit difficult and stuff like that. She hasn't been.
She's been probably one of the most normal ones in there, whatever normal means.
Bit of a dream, bit of a dream. Next up, we've got Nick Leeson. Remind us of Nick Storm.
I mean, he only lost 827 million back in the 90s. Not a lot.
Pennies, babe.
It's nothing.
Pennies.
We've all got more than that.
Pennies. Let's have a little look at his poll result. Oh, 16%.
Yeah.
So quite a jump there from the previous four.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think, my personal opinion is, people might have thought he was going to be boring. He's like watching your dad on TV. I love him. It's like, does he really want to be up 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning dressed as a tortoise? Probably not.
No.
But he's doing it, and he's actually getting on with it. So I think he's changed people's opinions on what we thought might be.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think a lot of people, we had him in here, didn't really know who he was and maybe weren't familiar with who he was, but I think that's what that change could potentially be. Up next, it's Ryan. So, I mean, he's had a bit of a time in there, but remind us of what his storm was.
He's had a mare, hasn't he? So he went in under a cloud of bankruptcy, but the thing is, I don't like the fact of, is he going out with another storm? I don't want him to. Do you know what I mean? I hope he comes out, puts everything to bed, that's it. I love him. I
like him?
Yeah.
Fan of him?
Yeah.
Let's have a little look at Ryan's poll result. 16%, same as Nick. Shocked?
I don't know, again, because he's got, I mean, before he came in the house, he seemed, again, like a family man, nice guy.
He was Bookie's favourite when he came in.
Yes, and I think he's the same now. So I think everyone just loves him, and they've gone for the 16%, because why not?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
That leaves Dan now. We need to talk about Dan. Have a little reminder of his storm.
Dirty laundry, out in the open, pants and all. Yeah, we won't go into the relationship stuff, but obviously Gabby's in there as well, so what we mentioned before.
So we had a
the
bit of a
photos.
double storm
yeah,
going
double
into
whammy.
the house. Let's have a look at his poll result. Wow!
Yeah.
39%. That's a big jump.
It's a lot, and again, I think, I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but I think people weren't too sure what to expect of him before he came into the house. So the fact that he's coming across quite a lovely guy, a family man, he's obviously really clearly upset that he's not seen his family for a while. He's come across maybe differently to what we thought he was going to be.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
They seem to agree with it. So Dan has come across as the person who's changed the public perception of him the
Yeah.
most. Has that shocked you out of all of them?
No.
It's not.
I was going to have a cheeky little vote myself. I didn't, but I would have voted him.
Well, next time, vote!
I know, I'm sorry.
They moan when they don't vote if it ain't going in their favour. You know what to do.
I will.
I've got to ask you this before you go.
Yeah.
Who do you think out of Sally and Hardeep's going to be leaving the house on Friday?
Oh, do you know what? After seeing tonight's show, it is a hard one to call because we don't know where we stand with Hardeep, but is he going to defeat Sally? No, I think Sally's going to come out. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know, and I don't want her to.
OK.
I don't want her to, but he seems like undefeated. He's
She
going
knows
all
you're
the way.
talking about her. I'm putting it out there. She knows. Charlie, you have me on your show so many times. It's lovely to have
Thank
you
you
here.
for
Give it up for
having
the
me.
gorgeous Charlie Hedges,
Thank you,
everyone. Love you. Lovely to have.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Right, coming up after the break, Nick shares some fruity gossip from his prison days. That sounds fun. And we'll be delivering a little piece of exclusive house action on a no-fee, no-return basis, so you literally can't afford to miss it. I'll see you straight after this. Welcome back. Sorry, I was just looking at Richard Blackwood clapping. It's like my favourite thing. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Now, listen, Hardeep may not have known what the exact social protocol is when it comes to pointing out someone's bunions. It's a really serious thing. Luckily, we do. And here it is. Thank you so much, unnamed person. Thank you. OK. When approaching a social situation in which a bunion is present, there is specific protocol of which one should abide by. One must not look directly at said bunion, and if mentioned by the bunion affected, one must not continue conversation about said bunion unless expressly asked by the occupier of the aforementioned bunion. Basically, just make sure not to put your foot in it with a bunion. Thank you. That's cleared up now. That is cleared up. That is cleared up. Thank you. Now, before we move on, Russell, hold on to my glasses, babe. I've got to have a quick ped check. I've got to see how you're getting on, Russell.
I'm just looking at my butt. No,
put it away, darling. Where's he put it now?
I've got it down.
Let me have a look. Let me have a little look. So we were on 4 earlier, weren't we? Let's have a look now. We're on 6, guys! We're on 6! Well done, darling. Well done. We're getting there. We are getting there with a 6. Yes. Still to come, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about the dirtiest word in reality TV. I said it. Before any of that, it's time for another exclusive. Have a look.
It's weird, isn't it? Because we're so close to the end, it feels like we're close to the end, doesn't it?
It does. And seriously, I've absolutely no problem with going.
Oh, God, I'd be gutted if you go, though. Because, obviously, I'm so glad that Dan's here as well, because if he wasn't, I'd be, like, the youngest one in here. But then, like, I'm so lucky that I got on with you two so well, because you're, like, my mum. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, exactly. We won't let anything happen to you, darling.
That stuff smells good.
The bacon smells lovely, doesn't it?
No, the
does it?
disinfectant, shockingly.
But yeah, I'm glad that you two have been here. Like, that comment yesterday, you hit the nail on the head. As if your only girlfriend in here is 67 years old. And I was like, yeah, but I love it.
Yeah.
Michelle, I want to come to you on this. Gabby especially, we know that she was on Love Island, and that show, it's all very, young, very good-looking people living it up in the sun. Are you surprised that Gabby's sitting there and her 2 best friends in the house, pretty much, are 2 middle-aged women?
It's, I've been in there, and I think when you're in that close proximity, you end up having friendships or relationships with people that you wouldn't necessarily have on the outside normal world. So I understand that. However, like, for Kirsty, she would be, like, my best mate all year long anyway. So I get that. And, look, it's difficult, right? Because it's really, really hard, because I've been in the industry for 20 years, and it's easy to judge people who have come from reality shows. Yeah. As an easy way in.
Dare you all judge me!
As an easy way in. And a lot of people talk about it. It's not necessarily always an easy way in, because that's the industry now, and that's sometimes the only way in. So I don't like to prejudge people. I think Gabby's come across really well. Yeah. And, like, a nice, lovely young lady. And I have no problem with her at all. So the fact that she's actually come across the way, I actually want to applaud her, and I think she's done really well.
Yeah, you think she's done well? Russell, has it surprised you that she seemed to align with the older housemates more?
Well, if there was a gay guy in there, that gay guy would be part of that little gang, wouldn't they?
Do you reckon?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, babe, I'd be straight in there. Hi, Kirsty
Alley.
Straight
in there.
Me and Psychic Sally swapping glasses.
But I mean, she looked beautiful then. She should be in some Hollywood movie. She's like Copacabana in that outfit. She's beautiful to look at.
Beautiful girl.
And, what's the opposite to a fag hag? Because that's me. when it comes to Gabby, I think she is beautiful to look at. I think she's stunning. And after Kirsty, I love Gabby.
You do? You're a fan of Gabby?
I am.
You
I
are.
think she's gorgeous.
Richard, I was going to come to you, but Russell took up all your time.
So
Give us a clap, quick clap. There we go. There's the clap. We love the go. Right, it's time now for tomorrow's headlines and today's Bots News. Hush. Our top stories tonight. Gabby's got a bra in her bonnet. Sally's not the only one exercising a psychic mind, and Dan's getting fruity. First up at 9:50, thank you, please. First up at 9:50 this morning, whilst Kirsty hunts for her missing brassiere, Gabby tries out a new look for London Fashion Week. Run BT.
Where's my brassiere? Do you have it?
I did have it yesterday.
I haven't. It's my new hat.
It's your new hat. It'll keep. Look, earmuffs. Here's one. This one is to wear as earmuffs. This one.
Yes.
I like this one. This one is the softest. Why do I have all these bras?
Perfect.
You smell cute.
I believe the correct terminology is Yas Queen. I'm calling it now. Bra bonnets are going to be the breast fashion trend since beard bows and food masks. Then at 10:19, the housemates take on the role of Psychic Sally, predicting who might steal that crown. Run VT.
It's a nice run-up, isn't it, for the final?
Well, good luck to you. I hope you all do well. Modesty from you has worked before, hasn't it, Hardy?
It's no modesty, mate. It's realism.
You are getting to the final.
Mate.
I think
I
Ryan...
think the best I can hope is fourth, because I think you,
He's
Gary...
fucking bigging it up now, isn't he? Fourth is going, oh.
I'm not doing that.
Going home 2 minutes ago.
You're doing well, mate. You're doing well. You're significantly better at winding me up than I am winding you up. And the thing I like more than anything is that I'm fairly certain I'm going to have a good few years after this to fucking rip the piss out of you, you prick.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I don't know about you at home, and I never try to influence the vote, but I personally am still rooting for the public eye to win the whole show. I'm just putting it out there. And finally, at 12:12 this afternoon, things get fruity whilst Dan talks to Nick about some new additions to his 5 a day. Run VT.
I didn't even realise. I've never eaten mango by itself. I love mango juice. But this was actually so nice. Like, beautiful.
Out in Asia, mango and papaya would be the...
They're apples and oranges, aren't they?
Fruits, yeah.
Do you want some mango?
I'm all right for now. I might have some later on, but papaya's lovely as well.
It's really good for you.
I heard some bad stories about papaya, though, whilst I was in prison in...
Really? What story?
Yeah, the inmates used to use it as a sex toy.
What?
What?
What a way to kill an appetite. Thank you, Nick Leeson. To comment on that remarkable piece of news, we are now joined by our Welsh correspondent, Russell. Russell, lovely to see you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well...
Thank you, Russell Grant. Amazing. That was today's Celebrity Bots News. Thank you. Stay tuned, because coming up, we've got an exclusive clip ready to hit you right where it doesn't hurt. But first, there is a small matter of eviction taking place on Friday night. Who do you think should stay, Russell?
Who I think should stay? Out of Sally and Hardy.
Do you know what, Russell? You've had your chance. Who stays? You decide! You decide. Here's all the numbers you need. This week, Hardy and Sally face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. To save Hardy from a landline, call 090 20 44 58 05, or from a mobile, call 6 50 58 05. To save Sally from a landline, call 090 20 44 58 13, or from a mobile, call 6 50 58 13. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. Votes cast after lines close won't count. If you're watching on Catch Up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Now, breaking news. As you've seen, we've been checking in on Russell's pedometer all night, guys. We really have. We need to go and check it one last time. So, Russell, for the final time, can you hand me your pedometer?
Stand up.
Oh.
No.
Oh, he was sat on it.
There it is. There it is. OK. You don't want to know where that's been. OK. So we were up to 6, guys. Are we ready? Russell.
Yeah?
Tonight, you have had a total step count of... 11 steps! We are so proud. So proud. Russell Grant, everyone. 11 steps, I'm emotional. Can you see that tear? Can you see that tear? It's coming. It's coming.
I'm so proud.
Everyone's just so proud of Russell. Right, we have got just about enough time to squeeze out another exclusive. And the housemates have been reading out comments, but what they don't know is it was Kirsty who wrote them all. Have a little look.
Hilarious.
Kirsty should now read the next comment out loud.
That's me.
You are not sexy, so stop batting your eyes at all the boys.
This isn't anything to do with reality.
I think it could be you.
Big Brother, we're gonna go Gabby!
Gabby, then.
Hardeep should now read the next comment out loud.
Bloody hell. Put a shirt on, no one wants to phone their crisps. That's me, Big Brother.
What about me?
Since you're a chihuahua.
Yes. Sally, you should now read the next comment out loud.
You are more boring than watching paint dry. Being generous, that's me. It's about me, I think.
Could be me.
I think it's Nick.
Do you think it's Nick? Or do you
Like,
think...
we don't think you're boring at all.
We don't think you're boring. Yeah, we think it's Nick.
When everyone...
No, because you're...
He's fucking boring. It's Nick.
Okay. Oh, Nick. You are not
We're winning, though. We're winning. We're going to have to...
Congratulations,
I'm really happy with
You
that one.
correctly guessed that the comment was about Nick.
Oh, she's naughty, that Kirstie Alley, and you can see all of that task in tomorrow night's main show now as this eventful series draws to a very near close. It's quite upsetting. It is time for us to come together and reflect on the ups and downs. Now, life is a roller coaster after all, and Big Brother is life. It's not a destination. It's a journey. Whatever Big Brother has thrown at our remaining 7 housemates, they have all ridden the storm. And they will come out the other side, because the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. And as Nick very well knows, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let's cut all of that. Let's start with Nick. Tonight, we saw him say that he's cried 5 times since being in the house, which is probably more times than he's cried in his entire life. Hello, he's been in jail. Russell, how do you think he's done in there? Has he been on a J word?
Do you know, I don't know. Like Michelle said, you don't really know he's there. The only time I really noticed him was when he was a tortoise.
He did say, though, there have been some larger-than-life characters in there. There really, really has. Do we think he's come out of his shell? No! Is it slow and steady wins the race, Richard Torsos?
I have nothing to say. But I think he's like, you know what? I like him. I think he's really cool.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Really? That's really.
I'm I mean, like, cool.
We're still on there.
I know, I was just sorry.
No, I think he's really cool, and I think that for him to cry, because he didn't cry in prison, did he?
No. That's what he said. He's had
Yeah,
cried for
yeah, and I
ages.
mean, you know, in that kind of prison where you're laying on the floor and there's people around you that are looking at you like food, for you not to cry,
Well,
that's really...
I don't think he was in, like, isolation.
Do you know what? None of us were there. None of us were there. Was anyone there? Maybe a couple of them maybe were there having a look. Let's move on to Sally now. She's talking about killer nominees. She has become a bit of a mother figure in that house, especially to younger housemates. Richard, what do you think's drawn Sally to the younger ones in there, do you feel?
I think that she's like a mother figure in there, you know. I think that kind of makes sense. I think, you know, the older you are, the more experience that you should have had, right, in terms of life journey. There's the word.
Hey!
Sorry, I had to do it. But, and I think that it's only right that she kind of lends an ear to the younger ones in there and kind of shows them the right way. So I think that's what she's doing.
Well, let's move on to another killer, killer nominee, Hardeep the Destroyer, as he's now known. He's come a long way. He's survived 3 evictions. Now, Michelle, it's obviously remained to see what's going to happen on Friday, but do you think he's been on a J word in there?
I think Hardeep's problem right now is that he's beginning to believe his own hype because of the public. But right now, I actually think he's faced with his not ultimate, his equal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure who may win. Because I couldn't get my head around why Chloe didn't get more votes than him because we're voting to save.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really understand that. Whoever's voting, I don't really get that. Anyway, but this time, I can't call it. So if he's saved again, this is going to throw him, you know, another spiral where he's heading, which is going to be his detriment and fall.
You think?
Yeah, totally.
They seem to agree as well. I can hear a lot of yeses there.
Yeah, totally. Like,
let's
I'm totally
move
clever.
on. Of course, I'm Michelle. Of course, I'm Michelle. I've been in 12 pop bands. What you got to say about yourself, babe?
I have no idea.
Let's move on to Ryan. Now, we know he really has been on one hell of a ride this series, Jesus. But if we start back at the beginning, Russell, he wasn't a bit of a, you know, big character in there. Housemates were a little bit dubious about him at the start. Do you think he's been on a journey?
Oh, my goodness, he's been around the world and back again. You know what? We can see what went on, but he's been brave, he's been courageous, he's stuck at it, he didn't know what to do, he felt injustice, he felt unfairness, how could he defend himself? That boy has gone through so much and he's still standing.
He is. He is. And on that note, may I just put it out there now, Russell for Prime Minister. Just put it out there now. Just put it out there now. Let's talk about someone who Ryan has equally grown quite close to in the house, and that's Dan. Richard, I know you know Dan quite well on the outside. Do you think Dan's been on a journey? It makes my willy go in saying it. I hate that word on the show.
It's like a hernia.
I do like it. No, do you know what? No, I think Dan's done very well. I think Dan is truly showing who he is. That is Dan right there. And I think he could even possibly win.
You think he could?
I think.
Well, looking at that public perception poll, he topped that poll with the fact of the public have changed their perception of him.
I think he's just a warm and likeable guy. I think like people look at him and they want to not like him because he just looks like an Adonis. But he is. You can't even hate on him, right? You know. But he is actually a really warm and nice person. I think he could win.
Do you think being in the house, Michelle, has given that boost that he might have needed?
Yeah, I think. Look, I know Dan as well. I don't necessarily know him as well as you do, but he's coming across as he is. He is a lovely guy. For me, he's like a big kid, because when you look at him, you think like man, because he's tall and he's strong and he's got muscles. But then when his personality comes out, he's a bit of a childlike man. Does that make sense? Not in a derogatory way, but then so that makes him warm and endearing. Obviously, we have no idea what goes on the outside or anything like that.
Oh, you trained with Dan, do you?
He's doing really well.
Trained with Dan, watch out! Well, it was Dan's relationship with Gabby that was the main focus of attention at the beginning of the series. So we now need... Pour him. We now need to talk about Gabby's J word. Russell, how would you describe Gabby's journey in the house? Oh.
Well, she's had a few tears and she's gone backwards and forwards, in and out the diary room, crying, laughing. Yeah, I think what's happened here is Love Island is such a different reality show, where you can move about, walk around, get some sunshine and what have you. But here, she's been claustrophobic with a lot of people, and I think she's come out shining. You know my thoughts about Gabby. Gabby and Kirsty, lovely. Kirsty's... Saint Kirsty.
Well, you've just brought her up. I mean, we do need to talk about, finally, Kirstie Alley. She made the very long J word from the States. She started out as our president, and now she's just one of the gang. Michelle, what are you making of her?
I mean, look, you know what
she seems to have really taken it in a stride.
When we get celebrities from abroad, obviously, like usually America, we always have like this preconception of like whether they're going to be divas or are they going to be full of themselves, and usually we're proven right?
Yes.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Hashtag Coolio. Anyway, but this lady is a lady. She is not only so successful and talented with what she's done in her life, she's just awesome.
She is
like,
awesome.
She is amazing.
Awesome.
I would love her to win, actually.
Yeah. You'd like her to win?
For me, it would be Kirsty, Ryan, and maybe Dan in the final for me.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I need to ask you guys why you're here. We know who our potential evictees are. We've got Hardeep and Sally down the panel. Richard, who do you think is going to be out on Friday night?
I think that Hardeep should, but I think that he has got some kind of... We call it juju. Right.
Do you think Sally could be in danger?
I think Sally could be in danger.
Michelle?
I really do.
Yeah, I think the British public are kind of laughing right now, and they're going to go, let's see him one more time just for the laugh. So, yeah, I think Sally's out.
Russell? Do they keep Hardeep in because they're putting the rest of the housemates through torture? I don't know. I have no idea. But so long as Kirsty's there, I'm a very, very
big fan of Kirsty. Very quickly, who do we want to see out on Friday night?
Love Sally out.
Sally out. Are you all right, darling? Should we pass the water? No idea. Who do we want out? Hardy. Either one, she don't care. She's got a lovely red flag. She don't care. Listen, I'm out of time, guys. Great chat, everyone. That is your lot for tonight. A massive thank you to my panel. And as ever, my fantastic audience, thank you. We'll get you a glass of water, darling. Don't you worry. I'm back tomorrow night just after 11 with Elliot Wright, Marnie Simpson here, and she is back. Natalie Nunn returns to box tomorrow. Batten down their matches. Radio Ryland will be there as well. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Night, night.